They look like favorites.
This is my lock of the week.
Dodgers.
No. But don't do this.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Vegas Sports Panel. It's all about the NFL Week 17. All right, we're going to go through all of the 16 games, and we're going to talk a little bit about each game and give you the go over the spread. And Bob's going to give you his expert analysis. I'll throw a little bit in there, and make sure you get subscribed so you're not missing any of our videos. All right, let's start off with the first one: Atlanta at Buffalo. Buffalo's minus 14.5. Boy, that's a lot. But do they need to win this one to where they're going to be playing everybody, or is this something that they can kind of cruise through a little bit?
No, Buffalo needs to play everybody for playoff seeding. They could get eliminated essentially. They haven't clinched a playoff spot.
Right.
Atlanta the same way. They're fighting for a playoff spot too.
Wow, I would not have guessed that.
Atlanta is like the Michael Myers of the football season. Like every time you think they're dead, they wake back up and come back. I'm going to take Buffalo in this game. There's a lot of big spreads this week because they don't want us to tease these games and get them into a reasonable area. But I'm going to take Buffalo making a statement against Atlanta. Buffalo's at home. Atlanta just not going to want to go play.
It's going to be
it's going to be freezing. I mean, even if it's not, it's going to be cold for Atlanta.
Right.
Even if it's,
especially now because that whole Southeast has been so warm recently, but they play in a dome, but still just their day-to-day
living has been warm.
Yeah.
And even if it's warm in Buffalo, it's going to be a 40-degree high, and that's not fun for Atlanta. So give me Buffalo minus the points.
Okay. All right, next we got the Giants, New York Giants at Chicago. Chicago's minus 6.
This is a poop. If anybody bets on this game or watches this game, you got a serious problem. If you betting on this game. No, the Giants they announced everybody's coming back. The quarterback, the head coach, we're all coming back, and they're horrible, and none of it works. The coach might be all right. He just has no help. Who knows who's starting at quarterback for the Bears this week? Nick Foles, the third stringer, started this week and won because Justin Fields was out with an ankle injury and Andy Dalton was in COVID protocol. So Fields could start if he's healthy. Dalton could start if Fields isn't healthy and Dalton clears protocols. They could run to Nick Foles because he's got the hot hand. Either way, I'm taking the Bears minus the points. The Giants are dead in the water.
Okay. Yeah, that one, once again, if you have to have one to bet, if you're doing something to where you got to pick all the games in order to be in your mix.
In your pool, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Otherwise, find something that's a little bit more.
Well, the Giants, since they're bringing everybody back, they want to lose for a draft pick. The Bears don't have their draft pick this year, so it doesn't make any difference to them. Yeah, the Giants will have their draft pick, so it doesn't matter to them if they lose.
Okay. All right, next up, Kansas City at Cincy. This is an interesting game. I mean, you would think Kansas City, the way they're playing, it should be a no-brainer, but Cincy ain't going away, and Kansas City's given up 5.5.
This is a huge game. It's in Kansas City.
And it's in Cincy.
It's in Cincy, and Kansas City's minus 5.5.
Yeah,
wow.
So that means a plus 3 more, so they're minus 8.5, really.
Yeah, and Joe Burrow, the quarterback for Cincinnati this week, just threw the 5th most yards ever in NFL history, 535 yards.
Yeah.
They have one of the odds-on favorites for Rookie of the Year in Jamar Chase. Their other receiver also went over 1,000 yards already this year. Cincinnati has disappointed me so many times this year when they start getting hot. So I'm gonna roll with Kansas City to stay hot. They should be getting Travis Kelce back this week and Tyreek Hill, and look for them to keep rolling and hang on to the 1 seed in the AFC.
Okay, all right.
The only bye is the 1 seeds now. They have 7 teams. It's not the top 2 anymore. It's just the first place. So Kansas City needs to win.
Right. Okay. Miami at Tennessee. Tennessee's minus 3.5. Boy, that probably would have been more if Miami would have lost last week, huh?
Yeah.
But they're 7 games now they've won? 7?
7 games in a row, but I think they've won 2 against the Jets, 1 against the Giants.
Right.
They haven't played anybody. They beat the Saints on Monday night on their 3rd or 4th string quarterback, the kid who used to play for Notre Dame, Ian Book.
Right.
So it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. They're riding high, but I think they're going to come back down to earth, and they're going to lose this week. The Miami Dolphins are going to lose and not cover.
Right. Well, I mean, at least they kind of saved their season a little bit.
They did.
You know what I'm saying?
They're in the playoffs right now, so it's going to come down to that last week because I think they're going to lose this week, but it's going to come down to them and probably 4 or 5 other teams in that last week and all kinds of tiebreakers. AFC's nuts.
Right. Okay. Now we got Las Vegas at Indy. Once again, this one actually, we talked about it earlier. That come off the board.
It came off the board.
Okay, let me get that
Wentz,
marked off. Wentz is in
when we're
protocol.
filming this, Wentz just came down with COVID. He's in protocol. They eased the protocol restrictions, so he might be able to come back. They don't know. He has to be symptom-free or at least feeling better to play. He probably wants to play because I think his money is based on how many snaps he takes with the Colts.
I was going to say there has to be incentives.
And also I think how the Colts, with their trade with the Eagles, depending on how many snaps he takes, changes the draft pick that they have to give the Eagles.
Okay.
So there's a lot in play with that. But assuming Wentz plays, give me the Colts. They're hot right now.
Okay.
I don't know what the point spread will be, but if it's under a field goal, give me the Colts.
Yeah, right now it's at -6, but but once again though, if not, they'll still play. They just won't have the betting lines out, or would the board be the number be totally reset before the game?
Maybe by game day you'll be able to bet on it. But the Colts are hot. Jonathan Taylor's an MVP candidate. Give me the Colts.
Okay. Jacksonville at New England. This is the biggest of the spreads, at -15.5 for a reason. But I don't know. Do you think New England's just going to maybe keep it close a little bit, or you think they're just going to put the hammer down?
I don't think New England can score that many.
That's what I was worried about.
It's tough, and I got so destroyed by Jacksonville. I had a parlay, Jacksonville money line and Buffalo money line, 2 underdogs. Jacksonville had like 1st and goal at the 5 with a minute left against the Jets and could not score. Jacksonville is horrible.
Right. Lost their coach. They're just kind of in disarray.
But give me the +2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's way too many points. I don't think the Patriots can score that many points.
Even if it comes down to it, they can maybe steal a touchdown and the end, go from 3 touchdowns to 2.
Yeah.
Now you cover.
It's way too many points.
Right. Okay. Tampa Bay -13 at the Jets.
See, they don't want us to tease.
I know exactly.
Games.
That's what I was thinking the same thing.
These games.
Yep.
Tampa Bay -13. Give me Tampa Bay -13. The Jets just got a win last week. They don't want to go too far back in the draft. They're not trying to win games.
Right.
They've got the wins they need to get. Coach is staying. They got their quarterback. They want to stay at the top end of the draft and maybe get a good defensive player, help out their defense. And Tampa is still fighting for the number 1 seed.
So they're going to bring it. Yeah.
If Green Bay slips up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next, we've got Philly at Washington. Washington, got crushed last week.
Washington, the disgrace of a football team.
Is that their name? Philly is actually kind of trying to pull a season out.
Philly's the last.
They're giving up 4, by the way.
Give me Philly against Washington. Washington's they're a disgrace of a football team. They don't have anything left to play for. I don't think they're going to fire their coach. They're looking for a quarterback. Philadelphia is on a roll. They're in the playoffs right now. Need a win. 4 is not that many.
Yeah, I agree. LA Rams at Baltimore. Rams are 4 point. They're giving up 4 points at Baltimore, though. But the Ravens, boy, they looked great so many weeks back. That just shows you what a long season can do to you.
Well, and Lamar's been out with an ankle, and then their backup, who's like a Lamar clone, was out with COVID this week. They had a 3rd stringer in there, so don't really judge them on last week. Baltimore's really fighting for a playoff spot. The Rams are winning their division. But they're not really worried about the Cardinals or the 49ers. Give me Baltimore plus the points.
Baltimore?
In Baltimore.
Right. Okay, Denver at LA Chargers. Chargers are -5.5. I don't know. I'm interested to see which way, what your thought is on this.
Chargers are -5.5, and they just lost to the Texans.
That's what I know. That's what's kind of surprising to me. I would have thought maybe a pick 'em or maybe -3.
And Denver?
No, it's at home, though. The Chargers they're at home against Denver. Man,
this is a loser leaves town match for sure. Whoever loses is out because they're both still in the playoff hunt. But whoever loses this game is out. Oh man, who knows who's starting a quarterback for Denver? Bridgewater. This will be 2 weeks off that concussion. Give me Denver. Give me Denver plus the points.
Okay. And here's one that I would have totally introduced differently if they didn't win last week. Houston at San Fran. San Fran's giving up 12.5.
Ooh.
But if Houston brings the team and the quarterback from last week at all, that of course they're playing a better defense in San Fran, but 12.5 seems like a lot to me.
12.5 is a lot.
It's at home though, but
Garoppolo has a messed up thumb. He has like a torn UCL. I don't know what that is, and like a fracture. So they're not sure if he's going to play. They're going to see how he progresses during the week. It might be the rookie Trey Lance.
I think it is actually. I think I've seen something to where
who the coach didn't necessarily give a lot of confidence in, but they just have so many more weapons. Trey Lance isn't going to have to do a lot. Texans, on the other side of the coin, they also don't have their draft pick, so it doesn't behoove them to lose.
Right.
So Texans are going to bring everything they got. 49ers really need this game. Give me the Texans plus the points.
Okay. You don't think the Texans will win the game probably. They'll just cover it.
But yeah, it's way too many points.
Right. Okay. This is a game right here I'm interested. I think it's going to tell a lot about, how the teams really are. Arizona at Dallas. Dallas has given up 5.5. It's kind of hard not to take Arizona in 5.5, isn't it? But it's not a touchdown, though. If it was 6 or 7, something like that, I'd feel more confident. But the way Dallas scored last week, wow.
Yeah, Dallas definitely.
It's in Dallas.
It's the first time they've looked good in about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
They were one of the hotter teams, and Dak Prescott was getting a lot of MVP buzz. Again, I think that's too many points. Arizona has not looked good lately, but they have fallen out of first place in their division. They need to right the ship before the playoffs start. I don't think they win this game, but 5.5, you're right. I could see them losing by a field goal. Give me Arizona plus the points.
Okay. All right. Carolina at New Orleans. New Orleans is -7. I don't, it's one of those games that, if you live in Carolina or you live in New Orleans, you go, okay, it's important, you want to see it or whatever, but I could care less.
This one and that Giants-Bears game are probably like, who cares?
Right.
I guess the Saints are still alive for a playoff shot, so they might have more to play for.
Though, right?
They need some help. Sean Payton. Oh, what was the line again?
7. They're giving up 7
Saints
at home.
Are giving up 7
at home.
No, give me the other side.
Okay, so you're going to have Carolina plus 7.
Yeah, give me Carolina plus 7 with the split Cam Newton.
Oh, that's right. See, what's up with all that?
And Sam Darnold.
They thought he was going to be the savior, didn't they? Earlier this week.
No, I think it's going to be a lot more Sam Darnold because they traded a draft pick for him, and they want to see if they need to move on from that whole situation. Right. So it's going to be a lot more Sam Darnold and.
Just to kind of look and see what they got.
Yeah, give me Carolina plus the points.
Okay. Detroit at Seattle, another one that you just don't know which way these teams are going. You just don't know. Detroit is they've kind of settled down a little bit, but Seattle.
What was the line?
Seattle's -7 at home, though.
Give me Seattle -7 at home because, again, they don't have their draft pick. Doesn't behoove them to lose.
Okay. Detroit's
not trying to win many more games. They want to stay in the top 3 or 4.
Right.
Seattle at home, weather. Detroit's a dome team.
Right.
They've won about as many games as they need to. Give me Seattle.
Right. Okay. All right. Let's go to the Sunday night game. All right. Minnesota at Green Bay. Minnesota has a way to play well, but I don't know if it's going to be this week.
No, Minnesota's fighting for a playoff spot, and it's in Green Bay.
Yeah.
What was the spread?
-6.5.
Oh, Green Bay for sure.
Yeah.
Why isn't that one of the 10-point spreads?
I agree. At least 10, right? Because you figure 3 at home.
Yeah,
and Green
Minnesota's fighting. Green Bay's trying to hold on to the number 1 spot and get a bye and play all their.
They think Minnesota's going to play them tougher for some reason,
it's a division game, so you don't want the spread to get too high. But no, I'm not trusting Kirk Cousins on a night game in Green Bay. Green Bay's trying to hold on to that 1 seed so that everybody has to come into the freezing cold
exactly
in the playoffs. Green Bay will cover a touchdown for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
We're not doing our top 5s, but I'm betting on Green Bay. That's for sure.
Right. Okay. And last but not least, Monday night, Cleveland -3 at Pittsburgh.
Oh my gosh.
Are both of these quarterbacks still playing?
Corpses?
I know, right? This is
Are they still alive?
Are we down to second strings? Are we, but this is like what Ben's possible last home game?
Yeah. Exactly. Give me the Steelers in Ben Roethlisberger's last home game against the Browns, a team that he's owned. I think actually, because I'm a Bears fan, they mentioned this to me a couple weeks ago, when Aaron Rodgers is he's 25-5 against the Bears in his career. Yeah. And there's been 3 better quarterbacks. It's like Tom Brady against the Jets. He doesn't lose to them.
Right.
And then it was like Dan Marino against the Jets or something like that. And then Ben Roethlisberger against the Browns. And it's his last home game.
They're getting 3 at home.
Yeah. Wait, who's
Pittsburgh is getting
Pittsburgh's?
3.
Yeah, no, Pittsburgh money line. Get on that.
Right. I was gonna
Pittsburgh's
say
winning at home against the Browns and banged up Baker Mayfield.
What type of money line do you think? 2 or 3?
No, it's probably gonna be like plus 180 or something like that.
Okay, not too bad.
But yeah, no. Okay, so Packers minus the points and
What other
Pittsburgh
one do you really
money
like? You
line.
really like those two a lot?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
your Sunday Monday parlay right there. That'll pay some good money, and those are definite winners. Ben Roethlisberger's not losing at home in his last home game. The crowd's going to be behind him. The corpse of Ben Roethlisberger, as I've been calling him.
And it's going to be, I
Get
mean,
behind that.
I'd be very surprised if it wasn't his last game at home.
It is his last game
Right.
at home.
He's-
At least for the Steelers. He
Right.
he might be the starter for Carolina next year. Who knows? But
Yeah, well, they tried with Cam, so it wouldn't be too surprising bringing him back. You know,
just walk away, Ben.
right,
But
exactly.
win this one.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks for watching Week 17 NFL. We'll see you next time.